It's Kenny Burns, a lifestyle specialist, rolling with my girl, ebtheceleb.com. And we're in the New Visions in Atlanta. It might be called a spy club. But, you know, Alex Get One Age Entertainment. We in here. Under construction. Nobody's been allowed, but we have access. Touch yourself. Come on, let's take a little sneak peek at the Alex Club. AG Entertainment is the biggest club in Atlanta. I'm sorry, it's the biggest promoter in Atlanta, and he has this whole thing going on. Okay, quick, go down there and get the thing. Crucial. Look downstairs, and you can see he has all booths because he only sells booths. He's a rich Eritrean that's next to Ethiopia. If you're not hip, get hip. AG Entertainment. And this is where we're doing the interview. Kenny Burns is a very interesting individual. I'm light-skinned, I'm a Scorpio. But more importantly, my skill set is marketing. So I thought the lifestyle specialist title was a little more interesting than saying a marketer. So, you know, I have these clients that pay me a lot of money and we get money. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I entered college. I felt like I'm from D.C. and I was getting in trouble, and I felt like I needed to leave D.C. So by the time that you know, college even became a forefront, before college became a necessity, you know, I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to be a hustler. I wanted to be all things street and fly. And then, you know, I got in some trouble. I was like, yo, I can't do this. This is not who I am. And my cousin was going to Morehouse, so I went to Morehouse for a Freaknik. To Atlanta for a Freaknik. And next thing I know, I had to be a part of the Atlanta culture. And that was the mid-'90s. And, you know, I basically became the party promoter. Alex was my partner. I should have stayed down with him if you look at this crazy venue. But, you know, I just started doing my thing. I was the first to bring Jay-Z, first to bring Biggie, Puff, everybody to Atlanta. So, you know, I kind of soiled myself in the entertainment culture of Atlanta. Not a bad move.
Now, so many people, when they get to
Well, I've been a part of so much of pop culture and never really got credit for it, nor have I ever looked for the credit for it. But I felt like, for me, I made the documentary as a legacy piece at first. Let me just give them some moments of my life. And then as I started putting it together, it became more of a blueprint on how not to walk to Brooklyn for cheesecake. And I take pride in that because I've always did it my way. So as I, you know, started giving instructional things to people, for instance, you know, you got to become the brand to promote a brand. But I gave kind of like key gems throughout the documentary. I also showed a human side to Burns, and I think that people know me for pictures. You know, people judge me. Oh, there he is, Tom Ford suit, Jordan this, Fever that. But they don't never, you know, really see the human Kenny Burns. So I wanted to give him a human moment, and that's what the documentary ended up being on its own. But, you know, I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad it turned out the way it did because it's setting me up for the book. Doing it for money. I think money is the root to all evil, and when you set your agenda out to get it, you know, you kind of become it. You know what I mean? It consumes you. In my documentary, I talked about my guy, Shakir Stewart, may he rest in peace, and this is a guy I met when I first moved to Atlanta in the mid-'90s, and we the same people. And I think that money changed him along the way, and the things he saw and, the, you know, kind of things that went on. And I wanted to highlight him in the documentary because it was one of the saddest things that ever happened to me, to see somebody that I knew, you know, and grew up with turn into something kind of that, you know, he really wasn't ready for. And I think that people get into this business thinking it's one way, and it will consume you, you know, and eat you alive if you let it. Well, musically, and I do think that music now is more prevalent than ever because of the discovery factor and the online community that, you know, promotes artists that would have never had an opportunity to be heard. But in the same instance, you have these people that promote these blogs and run these blogs that just put their friends on and make them popular, you know. And I think what's missing from today's musical generation is the artist development. I don't think that, you know, besides the Wale's with the live go-go bands and a few other people that have shows, you know, that's something you can't just learn. You have to be taught that on a lot of levels because some people just have raw talent that needs to be defined or assisted. And I think at the end of the day, you know, that's the most important part. You know, if you look at and this is no diss to the, you know, I find myself doing the Dougie and swagging and surfing and all that when I host. And I mean, it's not my favorite music, but at the end of the day, I respect it. But will I go see it on Broadway in 20 years? No. Will I go to Vegas and catch a Beyonce? You know, it's like you'll go catch a Beyonce show. They're gonna catch a Soldier Boy show. So I just think that's missing, and I don't think these kids, because of the opportunities they have online, you can't really tell them nothing if they're making some money. I mean, because that's how this entertainment business is. That I remember Kanye used to come sit in my office at Rockefeller, like, "What you think?" or "What's up with this?" And I can't even get him on the phone today. And it's not because he don't fuck with me. It's just because he's like, I'm Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm glad he's learning from his lessons, or from the things that have happened to him. But everybody doesn't do that. They don't come back from it. And I think that's what's missing in music. I think the business as we know it has changed anyway. I think there are going to be new opportunities and ways to quantify and make money off of music. I mean, Lady Gaga did like 51 million downloads for Ringtone. I mean, like, there's new ways to make money. And I think it'll continue. Music will never go anywhere. It's the soundtrack to people's lifestyles. It's the energy behind people's days. I mean, my son and I were driving home from his practice the other day, and I always turn on the oldie station because I grew up with my mom playing Frankie Beverly and Mays, and my son now knows the music. But that's what it's about. It's that sharing thing, and, it'll always be prevalent and relevant. So, I just think that it's going to find new ways to make money. I think the touring aspect will be – I mean, you can see that now with the Cuddies and the Drakes and all of them. Before they even had a record deal, they were doing 2,000 and 3,000 person venues. So, it'll be a continued evolution on that level. I'd rather give you people that are out that I think should be heard more. I mean, Estero, one of my favorite artists. I mean, she put an album back in '98 out called Breath from Another. And she's one of the most genius voices I've ever heard. She's a little white girl from Toronto, and I want people to get hip to her. I think Citizen Cope, who actually went to my high school in D.C., is an artist that's out right now. He has his favorite album. He has a couple albums out, but his favorite album of mine is the Clarence Greenwood recordings. I just want people to rediscover music because I think there's a lot of music out there that's art and necessary and relevant, and people should get used to. I think that the up-and-coming squad is a little bleak right now. I think that this whole generation of, nerdy, cool kind of things and tight pants, and it's a generational switch for me. And it's not something I'm really like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get the tight pants and the shoes that come up to my knees. That's not with 5,000 straps. Like, I don't. So I'm a little confused with the up-and-coming generation. But I want people to find good music because there's good music out there, and I'm sure they are. And if I don't know about you, put me on at Kenny Burns on Twitter.
All right, so your goal ultimate.
What's next for Kenny Burns is Burns, the Blueprint on How Not to Walk the Brooklyn for Cheesecake. It's my book. And for those who don't know me, I've been a part of, many a movement that I did not cover in Burns, the documentary. I signed Akon. I signed Wale. I've done so many things in the music business that I'm just not running around like, I did this, check me out. But the book will address all those things. I'm really getting into the mentorship. I'm going to schools and speaking and giving an unconventional way on how to market your product or brand yourself. So, I'm just looking forward to inspire that way. And it's leading by example. I'm a father. So my legacy needs to be bigger than, that's him with the shirt off on the bar with the champagne bottle with all the girls. So, yeah, but I look forward to doing that. And I think that's my calling. It always has been. I've been doing it subconsciously since I began in the entertainment business. But, I want people to get a better understanding of truly, what the entertainment business is. I think that I can be a beacon and an icon on that level. You know what I mean? Because I was never really impressed with the business. I just love music and people. And, yeah, we're signing off. It's ebtheceleb.com and Kenny Burns, baby. Now look in the mirror and touch yourself.